gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light. Get your ass up and do something. Get your ass up and do something. Hey friends, it's me, Brianna, but you knew that already. So, I know you're wondering, Brianna, what did you do today? You weren't? Oh, well, lucky for you. I'm going to tell you anyway. Okay. So, today I went to a meet and greet hosted by the Kershaw County Democratic Party. And at this meet and greet, there were several candidates for office in South Carolina in this upcoming election. And I guess I just want to share with you guys what I learned, because I said I was going to do it. I said I was going to do it, and I'm doing it! Overall feeling. It was pretty cool. I expected to be far more bored than I was. Just because politics, like, everybody's like, politics. And I've always been like, yeah, I hate politics, blah, blah, blah. But politics are so important. Like, you have to pay attention to politics. Because if you don't, there's going to be people out there making decisions on your behalf. And then what you going to do when you got a screwed up world and Donald Trump is president because you didn't vote? You going to shut up is what you're going to do. Now, where was I? So, the people that I met include Archie Parnell. Mr. Parnell is running for Congress for the District 5 in South Carolina, which is actually huge. It runs all up the coast. I mean, not up the coast. I'll let you see. He tells you in the video. I don't know the exact words and the exact places, but...
I'm running for the 5th Congressional District congressional seat in South Carolina. It's made up of 11 counties. It runs from Sumter and Lee County in the southeast and then runs all the way up to the border of North Carolina and includes even, it goes as far west as part of Spartanburg. So it's quite, it has 11 counties and has part of Spartanburg, Cherokee, York, Lancaster, Fairfield, Union, Chester, Kershaw, obviously where we're standing. What a congressperson does is it goes up and talks about changing federal laws and providing oversight on the executive branch. And then the Senate actually advises and consents on judges, and so the Senate has an extra function in addition to the House of Representatives in the fact that they advise and consent on judges and ambassadors and things like that. But taken together, the Congress passes laws, and oversees the executive branch.
One thing that I really appreciated about him was that he was making the point about being connected and reaching out across the different groups of people. He left early because he was on his way to the NAACP meeting.
The history of the Democratic Party. It is the party that stood behind women's suffrage. It's the party that stood behind Social Security. It's the party that stood behind the Rural Electrification Act back in the 30s. It's the party that stood behind the GI Bill, the party that stood behind the Civil Rights Acts, and that's the task. We've got to take the vision in that. And if you think about what's common among all of those acts that I just talked about, it's the fact that it gives voice to everyone. The intent of all of those separate acts is to try to expand the voice for everyone so that we each have our voice so that we can express our views and vote and make the country better because we have the capacity to be better.
I also met Miss Rosalind Glenn. She is running for treasurer of South Carolina. And let me tell you, first of all, I was moved by her story because she went from working her job, seeing that there was a problem and being like, well, hello, I'm here to solve it. And she jumped head first right in. And I love it. Like, I love it.
I am Rosalind Glenn, and I am running for the South Carolina State Treasurer's position. A little bit about that position, because I've also learned that most people don't know what the treasurer does. Well, the treasurer is responsible for the day-to-day cash activities of the state. All of us in this room pay taxes. All of us in this room may have done business with some of the agencies and the departments of the state, and you may pay some type of fee to that agency or that department. Well, all of that money goes into a pot, and then the legislature has the responsibility of allocating those dollars and saying where those dollars need to go. The treasurer then has the responsibility of sending those dollars where the legislature says they need to go. So that is the main focus of the treasurer's office. The treasurer's office is also responsible for managing the debt of the state. A lot of the work that is done, whether it's infrastructure or education or building schools, we do that through bonds. And so the treasurer is responsible for managing the bond debt, the debt for the state. That's one of the things that the treasurer is responsible for doing. Another thing which you all are familiar with is the 529 plan. We see that advertised over and over and over again, especially lately. We see the 529, which is a great plan that educates or sets up an opportunity for you to save money to educate your children. You also may be familiar with the unclaimed properties department of the treasurer's office, and that department is responsible for managing. If you have had an account in a financial institution somewhere, there's not any activity on it for I think it's up to about 5 years, then those financial institutions are required to turn that money over to the state, and then it becomes the state's responsibility to try to find out who that money belongs to. And so those are just some of the things that the treasurer's office does.
That women lead differently. We just do. We lead from a different place than men lead.
Right.
And so we have to be at the table. We can no longer not be at the table, because who better to speak to our issues than us as women?
Right.
And because I wear that double hat of being an African American woman, who better than us can speak to African American issues than us?
Right.
And that's all I want to do, is just make people aware. And that's what I've learned as I've been doing this, talking to people. People, they want to know. They want to understand. We're taught to seek to understand rather than be understood, right? And people, once you help them understand, then they can work towards whatever goals, whatever objectives we're trying to achieve to do something different. And so I just want to try to help people understand, hope they will be understanding, and then we can get things done.
It's nice to see that there's somebody that's concerned for our needs individually, our needs as a whole, and is ready to hop up and do something about it. Like, leave the comfort of home. Get your ass up and do something. Get your ass up and do something. That's how it made me feel after I finished talking to them. Get your up and do something. Get your ass up and do something. That's my impression. That's the lasting impression that I have. Not that she was jigging and millie rocking. That's just me. That's just me. She wasn't jigging and millie rocking. But she definitely did, like, encourage me. Like, put a little fire under that bum. And I really appreciated that. Also, Major Melvin Wittenberg. He's retired military, and he is running for Secretary of State.
Those of you that don't know what the Secretary of State office does, anyone who do business, any business, corporation, charitable, non-profit, cable franchises, notaries, and want to do business in South Carolina, they must go through that office. Problem is, the office gives you an application that takes a fee. That's it. We want to hold workshops twice a year to help businesses start, small businesses, be successful in forming up. For large businesses, I want to work closely with the Commerce Department. So when a company comes to South Carolina, like the master said 2 years ago, a week ago, companies are lined up when I come to South Carolina. They are lined up because we give them everything. Come to South Carolina, you don't pay no taxes. You can give no wages to our employees. You don't have to contribute to us. It's not going to happen under a James Smith cabinet. It's not going to happen under us.
Mr. Wittenberg, he seems to understand millennials. He's got kids my age, so he knows the struggle. He sees that it is real, and he wants to help. He wants to make it easier to start businesses and know what you're doing when you start a business. Because let me tell you a story called "We Don't Know." We just don't know. Like, it should be easier than it is. Or maybe I just get overwhelmed. I just be like, blah, 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 blah. you know, me and my brain. So, anyway.
It's your world. 2020, the millennial population becomes the majority population. And if you don't start laying the groundwork of what you want for your future, you should not have other generations saying, well, this is what's best for you. We want you to follow this, this, and this. You need to come to the table and be a voice of where you want to put the direction you want to go in the future, in the direction the country needs to go. I'm passionate about the younger generation because I know when the younger generation get in office, term limits going on everywhere, including Supreme Court. That's my dream, is to see that happens, and then we won't have these people that's die hard in one party that would take it to the full extremes to destroy somebody else, where it's not about your party affiliation, it's about what's best for your state, your city, your county, your country.
Okay. I also met Byron Gibson, who I forgot his last name when I was standing in front of him. Like a complete doofus, because, you know, I am sometimes. It's life. But he is running for, Mr. Byron Gibson is running for solicitor.
Justice, 3 words, to do justice. And under my watch, you will see justice done. Sometimes justice means trying a case to the fullest extent of the law. Sometimes it means reducing a charge to something that's more practical. It's actually what happened, so the person is not pleading with something they didn't do. Sometimes it means looking for a diversionary program, whether it be drug court, veterans court, alcohol diversion programs, pre-trial intervention, if mental health court. Those are courts that are in place to help people who have challenges. And so if we can place people in those courts, they get the treatment that they need. And then they also have an opportunity to come out on the other side, not having the same record they would have, but having treatment and then being better citizens for it. And then lastly, sometimes it means dismissing a case. So I'm a believer not on the adage, if you're the dog, you got to wag the tail, you can't let the tail wag you. So what that means is, as a solicitor, you have to have the courage to make the hard decisions in order to do the right thing about all people at all times. And that's what you will get from me, is that courage. We have to make sure that everybody knows that the job of a prosecutor is not to get convictions, but to do justice. So doing justice, you know, all across the board, no matter who you are, what your finances are, what your economics are, what your race is, what your religion is, what contacts you have, just doing the right thing by people. But also being a part of the communities and being a part of programs so that we can start looking and trying to do things that will help us be on the front end of things. You know, so you know, being more immersed in schools. I'm big on conflict resolution and just teaching so that people understand, you know, kind of what the process is, what the criminal justice system is, what it means, and then things that you can do to avoid the criminal justice system. And you know, if people do go to prison, when you come back, you know, we just want to we want to partner so that there can be programs in place to help people ease back into life out, you know, life after they've paid whatever debt they had to based on, you know, if they had to go to jail for a period of time.
I really appreciated Mr. Gibson because he seems to understand the importance of meeting people where they are and serving real justice, not just, oh, you screwed up, I'm sending you to jail now. Oh, you messed up. But actually understanding what motivated, like what caused this problem. Restorative justice gives me flashbacks to youth court. I was going to be a lawyer one day. Now I'm just a hippie. And I love it. Okay. Mr. Anthony Bell, running for sheriff, right here at home, local, Kershaw County.
Sheriff is the top law enforcement officer in the county. He has people that works for him. He has administrative staff. Then you have deputies. Okay, I'm going to hire a chief deputy to work in that department that's going to be on the same even keel that I'm on, that want to work with the community. And I'm going to oversee that department. Now, my job is to make sure that department runs even and runs smooth. That means getting money for my men, make sure they're well trained, making sure they have everything, the tools that they need to go out and work every day. I'm going to work hard with county council, with the school board, to make sure, first of all, that we can get an armed officer in every school. We need a school resource officer, but a certified school resource officer in every school. I'm going to try my best because I don't control the money. The county council controls the money. So all I can do is go to the council and put down, this is what we need, this is what we need to do, and this is how we need to get it. And hopefully and prayerful that the county council will say, okay, Sheriff, what do you need? Bring it to us and let's work on it and try to get it. Because without the proper tools, my man can't really see a passion and a need for the community to be bridged together. When it comes to our young people, when it comes to our youth, when it comes to the schools, the churches, community, they need to work together as one. Law enforcement need to be seen as law enforcement. They also need to be seen as people's friends. Because we're all human. We put our pants on just like everybody else, one leg at a time. So we want people to not only look up to us, but also look at us as being a person, not just a police officer. Let us be your friend. And I think that gap has been lost. And I want to bridge that gap. I want to bring the unity back, to law enforcement and community in the county. I want people to understand that we've got to get together. We've got to work out our issues, work together as one. We got to let them know that law enforcement is not out here to harass you, not out here to hurt you. We're here to help you. And that's what we need. And that's why the young men and young women that work for me are going to have a compassion that I have for the community as a whole. I know that it was Black Lives Matter, and I understand that thoroughly. But to me, all lives matter. I want to save everybody that I can save. I don't care what color you are, how rich you are, where you come from. I want to save everyone. And I think if we can bridge that gap and get the community to start seeing as one and stop looking at color, or stop looking at money, stop looking at religion, look at a person as a person. And I think that we, and I say we, can come together as one, as a community, as a county. When you add together, it's even in numbers. When you divide, what do? You take away. But when you add, you come together. So if we add some compassion, some love, some peace, some harmony in the community, then I think that we can work together as one. Because I am sick and tired. I really am. I'm sick and tired of people looking at someone because of the color of their skin or hating someone because of the color of their skin. Get to know the person. Get to know the person. You might not like the person, but you don't know who the person is if you don't stop and ask them who they are, talk to them. How can you hate somebody you don't know?
Exactly.
The Bible said, how can you love me, Jesus, who you've never seen, but hate the man that you see every day? And that's what I live by. I try to love everybody. And that's what I want us to do as a whole, as a Kershaw County, to love each other and come together and work together.
My whole thing is work from a place of love. And that man was speaking to my heart. I said, okay, all right, Mr. Bell, preach, 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 preach. Love the people, connect with the people, bridge these gaps because they need to be bridged. At the end of the day, they need to be bridged because we're in a hot A, hot booty patootie mess, grade A, class A mess. And it's time for us to all bridge gaps, make connections, speak to each other, look across the lines. Because listen, at the end of the day, I'm also going to research Republican candidates, and I'm going to share that information with you too, because it's important for us to know. Even if we don't vote for them, we need to know what they're doing. We need to know what's pushing them. I don't know. Either way, I voted already, and I'm not going to tell y'all who I voted for. Did you ask about what's important to you? Huh? Sam always has to call me out on my stuff. But he's right. Did I ask about what was important to me? That's what I would do differently. If I went back, I would make sure that people knew what's important moving forward. I feel like your voice has to be heard. And sometimes I'm so busy listening to everybody else's voice that I'm not like, okay, what about the environment? What about climate change? What about sustainability? What about having healthy, fresh foods, local and affordable to people like me who are in Lugoff and trying to be vegan and eat healthy, and I can't even go to a restaurant because ain't nothing but, I don't want to say crap, because it's not crap. It's somebody's hard work and labor. But McDonald's, Taco Bell, KFC, Your girl just wants some fresh food. Your girl just wants the environment to be clean. Your girl just wants people out here loving, which I know that this ticket is doing. They are loving. They are caring. They care. Now, next step, let's get them to care about what we care about. Make your voice heard, people. Get up. Speak out. Why is it so important for us to vote? This is Miss Phyllis Harris, the chair of the Democratic Party in Kershaw County. Her passion about why we should vote, her reasoning.
I am African American. My father was 6'4". When the day that the law was signed into existence, he went to go get his voter registration card. There wasn't an issue with getting it. It was how she was giving it to him, because back then, you didn't touch black skin if you were white. So she threw the card across the counter and onto the floor. And my 6'4" gentle giant, my father, bent down and picked that card up and held it up to me, and he said, "Little girl, it's the most important piece of paper I will ever own in my lifetime, because people died to give me the right to pick it up off the floor. Don't you ever forget its power, and don't you ever not vote." And every time I step in a booth, I step in there for my father, and I step in there for his father, because they couldn't step to vote before. So this is why I don't miss an opportunity to vote. And for anybody who's African American to not understand that struggle and to not understand what we went through to get this ability to vote. And we are the only people in the world that had to be given the right to vote in our own country. You know, for you not to vote means that you are stepping on your legacy. Right. And you are discrediting it. It means nothing to you. You are discrediting what my parents went through. Right. My father used to stand in line at the voter registration office and answer the stupidest questions. How many jelly beans are in a jar? How long does it take a watermelon to ripen? Right. To try and get to vote. And of course, he would never answer the question correctly, so he could never vote. And when Lyndon Johnson stood there and signed that bill, and as he signed it, he looked at Martin Luther King and he said, "We have lost the South forever for the Democrats, but it's okay." Yeah. And it is. So I want young people your age, especially young black folks, to understand how important this is and how it breaks my heart when someone tells me it's not, and it doesn't matter, and it doesn't count. 4 little girls in Alabama died in a church on a Sunday morning to give us the right to vote. 3 young men died in the woods at the hands of some crazy white guys to give us the right to vote. People walked across the bridge and got hosed down and attacked by dogs to give us the right to vote. And you say you don't want to do it? I don't understand. Right. I just don't understand. So I'm asking, and I beg and I beg and I beg, please vote. Please vote for my father. Please vote for your father. Please vote for your grandparent. Vote, because it matters. And it is our voice. It is power.
Like, it really makes you think. It makes you consider. Your voice does matter. It really, really does. Whatever voice you choose to use, it's all up to you. What voice do you want to be heard? 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 What voice do you want? That's my voice and you can't use it. And not his voice. Thank you. Make your voice heard. Your voice matters. And it matters more in these local elections, these primary elections, than it does once you get to that presidential race. Because if you wasn't saying nothing at the bottom, they ain't gonna hear you at the top. Okay? So you open your mouth, start it from the bottom. Now we here. Started from the bottom, not a whole team. Here. Get it? Start from the bottom. Get up here. Start from the bottom, get up here. Start from the bottom, get up. Start from the bottom, get up. Start from the bottom, get up. Anyway, I know everybody feels like politics don't matter, but they do matter. Your voice matters, and you can impact the way that your world works. Get up, get out. Hey. Get your ass up and do some. Get your ass up and do some. Okay?